What's going on, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some of my favorite jump spots on the map Vikendi, and I'm also going to be showing you how to access the roof of some of the most common buildings on this map, which is going to give you not only a better position but an advantage over enemy players in PUBG. In the current state of the game, it is fairly uncommon, at least in my opinion, to see console players on top of the roofs of many of the buildings in this game. But this is set to change because ledge grabbing is being introduced onto Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at the end of this month. So before this update goes live, I think it's important to start utilizing these techniques because being on the roof adds another layer of gameplay. For example, a majority of the buildings in this game are 1 or 2 stories. So when you're approaching a compound or a building, your eye normally goes towards the surrounding the building, the first floor windows, or maybe the second floor windows. But what you're not used to looking at is a player coming from the roof. And also, if someone is on the roof, they're not constrained by just the windows in the building. They can quickly move from side to side and sneak attack you from above. So let's start with the basics first. This is one of the most common 2-story buildings on the map, and you know you're in the right one if it has the balcony in the back. All you need to do is head over to the balcony, jump on the railing, and then once you're on the railing, get over to the edge, back up, walk forward, and jump onto the roof. This has to be one of the best spots to get to in the game because you have so much visibility, and you can also use the roof to access other roofs depending on what compound you are in. Also, in this same building, on the bottom floor, there's this bathroom. A lot of times some people are hiding in here, or you might get trapped in here. Something that not everybody knows is that you can actually just get out of that tiny window, and there's a lot of windows like that in Vikendi where you can get out of. You just got to try. And speaking of windows, here's another one here in Movatra. This building is also pretty common in a lot of the bigger cities on the map like Goroka, and all you need to do is go over there. Everybody probably sees this. Maybe you guys have already tried this, but once you get onto the roof, you can access so many places on the map or in that particular city. I'm not going to show every single one, but the options are almost endless. Next is a spot that I'm pretty proud of because it took me a while to figure out how to get on top of this building, and this notch provides you with great cover when you're scanning the area, and enemy players do not expect you to be up there. I've caught a lot of people off guard being on that roof, and this particular compound is located north of Villa and south of Mount Kresnik. What you're going to need to do to get on the roof is jump on those crates first, then jump on the fence here. You're going to want to take the fence all the way down to this crate. You can't do this with any other boxes. It has to be that box and then this part of the fence. Once you're on the crate, you're going to want to get a running start, look left, and jump onto the roof. And again, people are not going to expect you here. This is a great spot, one of my favorites on Vikendi. Then next is this shed, which I like to call the TP building because of its shape. And you can use this building to get onto many different roofs in the game, but this compound in particular has a huge advantage of getting on this next roof because you have a bad sight line of the road over here with the little hill kind of blocks the visibility. Once you're on the roof, you can see both sides of the road, and you can help prevent a team from sneaking up on your team when you're hiding out at this compound. Moving over to Port, one of my favorite locations on Vikendi. This is an easier one, but a lot of times I see people asking me about how to get over to some of these crates because there's usually some good loot over here. So what you need to do is take that box up to this crate, get a running start, look to the left, jump onto these crates, and then you can pick up the loot that is located on those boxes. And then where I started off the video, if you go back to this crate by using the box again, if you jump the other way, you can actually make it on top of this building, which again might not be the most useful, but if you just keep looking around different spots of the map, you can get on so many roofs in this game and get better sight lines if there's other teams here. It's very helpful. Now moving on to this location, which is situated southwest of Goroka. As you can see on the minimap, there are a lot of neighboring compounds here, so getting on the roof will help with your sight lines, especially if you have a sniper. And there also are a lot of compounds that are set up very similar to this one, so you can reuse this jump spot. And this one is very easy, just to shed to this warehouse. And then also using the technique from the first jump spot with the balcony, you can get up on this roof, get onto the next roof, and increase your sight lines to other areas around the map. All right, so this is another one of my personal favorite locations on the map to get to. This compound is situated just west of Goroka, and look at these sight lines. We actually won a game the other day with the circle closing in on this compound, and we were all on the roofs sniping at everybody with their lack of cover. It was awesome. So what you need to do, this is kind of the complicated version first. You stand on this second story of that middle structure, then you can make it to this roof, which actually has some nice sight lines behind it, and then from that roof, you can make it to the middle roof, and this is the tallest roof, I think, in the compound. So once you're here, I'm spinning around, you can see all of the different sight lines there. And then obviously once you're here, you can make it to the roof over there. This is a really easy jump. I'm going to do it right there. So there you go. But there is an easier way to do this. All you need to do is once you're in this middle structure, you can just jump to this building. So you have some options here. And again, this is one of my favorite sight lines on Vikendi. This next one is a fun spot. It's kind of trolly in the castle. At the end of the staircases in most of the pillars, there's actually an additional perch that you can make it up to by jumping onto these ledges. Once you make it far enough, you can actually just walk around the edge. I didn't need to do the additional jump there. And what's interesting about this spot is there's usually loot up here, so you're kind of meant to be up here, and you have a really interesting sight line out of this window. And really, this is just a good spot if you're hiding out. I did this on stream when I lost one of my duo partners and the circle was ending here. Again, it's a little bit trolly, and there's really no point to being up here, but you can catch somebody off guard, and if you need to hide, this can be a very useful spot, and watch out for people who could potentially be up here before you. And lastly, I have a bonus clip here, which is not a jump spot, but this is so interesting, I figured I just wanted to include it in this video. So I once was playing with a random duo partner, and he ended up driving through the river here with the snow bike, which completely caught me off guard. I was not expecting this at all. And since doing this, I realized that this is possible on many other maps, especially in Sanhok, where the riverways are pretty narrow. So if you're in a motorcycle or a vehicle and you're driving fast enough, you can actually keep driving at the bottom of the water. So if there's a roadblock or you just need to get somewhere very quickly, you can keep this in mind and make it through. And it's also kind of funny to maybe troll your partner in the process. So that's it for this video. I am working on similar videos for the other maps in the game, but I'm going to hold off now until ledge grabbing is introduced on console, because that's obviously going to change the game in terms of where people are going to be able to jump to and climb to. And I hope you guys find this useful, because it is fun to kind of jump around and get different sight lines, but it really does give you an advantage in the game. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up or share it with somebody that might find it useful. And if you didn't enjoy the video, leave a thumbs down, and please let me know why down in the comments below. As always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.